Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's presentation. This is our Corporate Communications Plan, a change management and public relations initiative. We have organized today's meeting in response to an anonymous senior level employee who recently wrote an open letter to co-chief executive officers Jim Basile and Mike Lazaridis. And that letter has been published by BGR, or Boy Genius Report, and it has now gained traction and being covered by mainstream media. In their letter, the employee outlined 8 key issues that RIM leadership would need to address if they plan to successfully rebound from their operational failures. Those issues were focus on the end user experience, recruit senior software leaders, cut projects to their basics, invest in developers, improve product marketing, employee accountability, treat the press and customers with humility, and engage and interact with employees. As you can see, we have quite an uphill battle to recuperate from this public embarrassment. Regardless of this employee's motives, this open letter has raised questions about our organization that needs to be addressed strategically and in a meaningful way. If the assertions in the letter are true, and these factors are attributing to our declining market share, then we have a responsibility to our internal and external stakeholders to address these issues and take immediate action to rectify them and to regain their confidence in us as a company. With that said, we have to shatter any impressions or misconceptions that have been communicated by this senior leader and build the narrative we want within this organization and outside of it by exploring the validity of these claims in the letter and creating solutions, improving our best practices, and holding one another accountable in driving our business goals. So, as you can see, here is today's agenda. Let's get started. Our communications efforts should target internal and external stakeholders, improve our company culture, increase accountability of our leaders, address employee performance issues, and promote technological innovation. In doing so, we can reposition this company as one who's concerned and responsive to all of its stakeholders, whether it's employees, investors, suppliers, and most importantly, our customers. The proper response and follow up action can transform many of the issues that have led to this letter being drafted in the first place. All of the efforts we make to improve the company culture to one that embraces feedback, diversity of thought, and innovation through communication are all interpersonal skills that aid in collaboration. Increasing collaboration will enhance the confidence of our development teams. We need to make their workplace a sandbox where they can create ideas, challenge one another, test the technology, and build better products that consumers actually want to buy. The research, analysis, planning, team strategies, and creativity will allow innovation to thrive. And this is exactly what we need right now to improve internal morale and drive business outcomes. We need to strive to make our employees feel welcomed here at work. They are competent and capable, and we need that message to come across loud and clear through the actions that we take now and going forward. The open letter has created a unique opportunity for us to change our company culture through specific action items. Our communication strategy is key to achieving these goals. Let's start with our internal communication plan. Our recommendation is that we appropriately address the issues raised in the open letter and garner employee buy in to a new open communication practice at RIM. There may be some skepticism at first, but how we follow through will be as important as what we are communicating. Internally, we'll start with a town hall meeting where we will present a new initiative that encourages employee feedback through anonymous employee surveys. We need to understand whether there is a consensus with the open letter to further inform our ongoing communication strategy. Next, we need to form new collaborative work groups among the developers and engineering professionals. Mike Lazaridis, the CEO who is most involved in the innovations at the company, will be personally meeting with work groups to hear innovative pitches from his professional tech staff. This shows his vested interest and fulfilled promise of creating a more inclusive and innovative culture. All of these efforts should promote transparency among colleagues and their leaders without intimidation or fear of retaliation. By holding a town hall meeting, the leadership would effectively be demonstrating their sincerity and acknowledging that this letter inspired their desire to improve the company culture here at RIM. The second internal communication would include a company wide memorandum reiterating the survey discussed during the town hall meeting. The memo will elaborate on RIM's desire to gain more insight into employee experiences at RIM through this anonymous survey being deployed by a third party vendor to protect the identity of each of the employees. This also builds trust. It demonstrates a deviation from what has been touted to be the norm, which is a disinterest in employee feedback. Placing it in writing and including supplemental links to the follow up resources would reinforce the sincerity of our leaders to establish a new cultural norm that advocates for transparent communication, employee feedback, and innovation. And the third phase includes more action items which demonstrate the change initiatives are really happening. During these, we can talk about the announcement of a change in leadership. So no longer will we have co CEOs, but Mike will lead as CEO and Jim will transition into an operational role as Chief Operating Officer. On the screen are key personnel and stakeholders who have direct impact with regards to ongoing product development that will impact sales. This audience has been targeted in order to solve or mitigate problems with product design and specifications, functionality, user interface, intellectual property and legal compliance, market research, competitive analysis, materials, production, recruitment, federal compliance, and other operational and cultural factors that impact our business. There are some internal potential sources of conflict, and these could be as a result of the memo and could emerge as a result of the competitive aspect in presenting new ideas directly to the CEO. With him meeting with various work groups within 3 weeks of the memo, there could be bouts of microaggression from ambitious employees vying for his attention and buy in. Thus, personality threats, egos, fear, and newfound anxiety could be a side effect of the memo. Even with the impending competition, having teams pitch directly to him can offer him even more insight into the talent and personalities inside of his organization, resulting in emerging leadership down the line. Now let's shift to external communication and communication mediums. We recommend using a traditional press release in combination with social media posts. The messaging should be transparent and approached with humility and sincerity. This will tackle the issues raised in the letter and how the company plans to make changes. Social media is much more expedient in responding to the open letter. LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter are three recommended to reach the intended audiences. A video message can be recorded by the CEO, just stressing how seriously the matter is to him and how he intends to rectify any issues within the company immediately. This can then be shared on LinkedIn and Twitter for immediacy. The video also should include teasers about new technology and development and how excited the company will be to share that with the public in the next fiscal year. Encouraging people to follow RIM's social media to keep track on the changes and the progress regarding these matters is a great way to end the video. This will buy time for the press release to be strategically authored and distributed to media outlets and the Associated Press. It should focus briefly on the letter and steps being taken to internally address these concerns, including the announcement of the leadership changes, and then steer the conversation towards new and future innovations coming up at RIM to build a buzz. For television, tech segments with the CEO would show personality and humanize him. Here are the key external stakeholders. When considering the cultural impact and target audiences, communication should include Mike Lazaridis speaking to the issues raised in the letter and ensure stakeholders that the company is taking the matter seriously and will be meeting with internal teams to address the issues and formulate a plan of action to solicit more feedback from its employees. Mike should also discuss the company's trends and overall financial health of the company using data from their financial statements. He should acknowledge the dip in market share while highlighting the increase in net income over the past 2 years to reassure external stakeholders. When it comes to communicating with external audiences through the use of social media, potential conflict could stem from the responses to our message. While social media is great for disseminating a message quickly, how audiences respond can be unpredictable. So there needs to be a social media team in place to implement monitoring strategies, people who understand how to or even if to respond. Also, when it comes to a press release, how the media spins a story cannot be controlled. This could potentially cause a conflict if journalists start to ask skewed questions. The best thing to do is be consistent and honest in providing details. Audiences appreciate transparency, good, bad, or ugly. The new strategic communication plan should include the development of mission, vision, and goals that align with the new cultural expectations going forward. The mission should be to create a robust and innovative customer experience. Their vision should be to work collaboratively to leverage the best talent to drive their mission. Finally, their goal should be to restore faith among all of their internal and external stakeholders that RIM is a strong global mobile communications company that broke ground in mobile communications in the past and will continue to successfully drive innovation through technology into the future. Since the external communications proposed in this document includes social media and traditional press releases, RIM should have a social media team who will both monitor and measure the efficacy of its social media communications, utilizing measurement tools such as Google Analytics, TweetDeck, Hootsuite, tracking hashtags and at mentions, along with other social media analytic tools, can offer insight into the external opinions, brand perceptions, and the overall voice of the customer. From an internal perspective, the report data collected from the Employment Engagement Survey deployed via memo is one way to track efficacy of the communication campaign. Other key indicators that demonstrate the internal communication plan has been successful are employee retention, improved performance reviews, and ongoing employee participation and feedback. This concludes our corporate communications plan to support our change management and public relations initiative. My name is Sonja. Thank you for watching.